All right, so let's build our own OpenClaw in 5 minutes using Deployery. I might actually just send a timer just for reference, because I am interested, how long it's actually going to take. Yeah, let's actually just set the theme to be a little bit nicer. Well, I don't know what this is. Some config. Let's set the theme to like be this. Maybe we can go with a darker one too. But yeah, let's start OpenCode. This is a new sandbox that I made, and yet OpenCode is pre-installed over here, and they have free usage without logging in. So let's just say like, can you make a workflow that makes it so when it receives a message from my Telegram bot, it spins up OpenCode headlessly. So it basically makes a run without any UI, without any interaction. So it can just come back to me with the response. And I don't actually know what this big pickle model is, but yeah, let's just see it try to build this. So just a little bit of context, what Deployery is. Deployery is a platform where you can make your sandboxes. You can make computers on the cloud like this with their own files. You can essentially have just VS Code in the browser, like GitHub code spaces and stuff, but with really cool workflow features for automation. And as you can see, this is an example workflow, and I'm just going to explain it real quick to you. So it has a trigger, a manual trigger, and out of the different triggers you can have a manual trigger, you can have a webhook trigger, and you can have a schedule trigger, recurring and at a given date. And you can also chain different triggers together, or like you can have different triggers running concurrently for the same, workflow. And as you can see, it already made, the Telegram OpenCode right here. It's doing some echo for the input, and this input it's using right here is, for example, when a webhook receives, well, it actually seems to have finished already. But let me just explain this real quick to you. So when a webhook receives, let's pretend this is a webhook. It's going to receive a given input from from the outside, and then this is going to be it's going to go through its processing, right? And then this is going to be the input to our actual step. So this is the input to our step, and then this, we can use $input. This is really hard on the touchpad, but you can use $input to process this in this step, which can be a command step, like running a terminal command, like it does right here, or it does right here. That was the example. Yeah, and runs basically has a webhook, and then it uses the input, so this thing right here, to run a command, to echo the input, and to send a request, I guess, to, let's see, I don't really know what this means, JQ, because I'm not really familiar with it, but it's gonna, yeah, it actually explains it. So parse Telegram update, get chat ID, run OpenCode, yep, and it's gonna send a response back to the chat ID. And what does it actually say for me to do? Get a Telegram bot token from botfather. Okay, so I actually have, let me open up botfather here real quick. I don't want to leak my contacts and stuff. Okay, so I got botfather right here. Let me actually unpause it because I paused it. And let me start this, and then you can see I can create a new bot. We're going to call it OpenClaw. I'm going to mesh our head on the keyboard, and then make an ID, and then this is the token to access it. And I'm just going to say real quickly, I have 10 seconds over here. Do it for me. Token is this. And let's see if it's actually going to be able to do this. And, you know, for the 5-minute limit, let's just count, you know, the actual time that I sent the prompt at. So you can see it actually pushed this workflow and it appears on the side over here. And it's going to get the webhook for it. Since this is a webhook trigger, it's going to webhook, get the webhook URL, and then it's going to curl, and then it's going to set the webhook. Curl. Why did I say it like that? But yeah. Yeah, okay. So done. Your Telegram bot is now connected to the workflow, send a message, and it'll receive the message, run open code, run your message, and send the response back to you. So let's actually try it out. Let's go to this bot, you know, start it. Hey, let's see if it's actually going to work. So you can see it's spinning on the side right here. And yeah, this is the moment of truth, I guess you could call it. And so it silently just stopped. So let's actually just say, can you run it with dummy data and iterate on the logs? So as you can see, it literally just ran for like a second and then stopped. So let's actually try to find out what happens. And, you know, this is just the second prompt, right? Or the third prompt, you know, including the token. And yeah, the issue was JQ is not found. So you can just install it or, you know, use something else. And, you know, you can see it's sort of realizing it's not available. Using Python or a simpler method. Okay, so it actually had an issue with parsing the JSON, I guess. And it's sort of reasoning through this. It's going to push it, and then it's going to trigger it. It's going to get the run ID, and then it's going to check the logs for that run ID. And then it's going to see the traceback, so the error that I got, and it's going to iterate. The JSON is, you know, it has an error now over here. Expected comma or closing brace. And it added this. Yeah, it actually accidentally deleted some stuff, I guess, and then repaired it. But yeah, you can see it's iterating on its own sort of workflow as I gave it literally one instruction. And it's just because I built in the skills for it to actually be able to do that into the sandbox for all the pre-installed agents like OpenCode, Claude Code, Gemini CLI, Codex, stuff like that. And yeah, you can see it pushed it again. Then it's gonna get the logs again. Yeah, and I actually did trigger it with dummy data here. And so it's restructuring some stuff. And I don't actually know what Big Pickle is, which sounds actually kind of interesting, but I don't actually know what this model is. But I can guarantee you that Claude Opus would have literally done this in just a few minutes. So this is taking more like 5, I would say, already, or like something like that. But it's still having a really easy time, I would say, on just, you know, having the whole iterative process where it can you know, be in the loop and sort of iterate on, you know, the stuff that it actually does. Because this is, at the end of the day, this is just simple JSON and, you know, Python, like commands and stuff. Like this is not that difficult for an AI to comprehend. You can see this is the longest out of all of these where it, you know, uses the Telegram bot token. And then I wonder, does it hard code the token somewhere or no? I redirected echo to error output. That's why there's no error output. Wait, what the hell is happening, bro? Wait, I just realized I made a mistake. The first echo was going to SCD error. Standard error output. I'm really quite confused actually what it's doing right now, because I'm not sure what Big Pickle even is. I'm not gonna lie, but let's see. It's failing, but I don't see any std out from debug. Wait, the output from debug should become the std and forget chat ID, but maybe this stuff is failing silently. I was doing some stuff, simplifying it actually a lot, just to even realize if it works. It's gonna work. I know it's gonna work. Yeah, as you can see, so it works. So the issue is with the AI. Okay. So let's see if it's actually gonna be able to do this. You know, if Big Pickle is gonna be able to do this successfully and actually complete the workflow and make it be able to run. And you know, this could be engineered a lot better, so it could make a, like a scripts folder. It can make like a Python script in here and call this from a command like over here, but you know, it really depends on the model that you use, and Big Pickle just doesn't have that understanding, I guess, or that foresight. But yeah, let's see. Is it going to be successful at least once? So it pushed it, and it triggered it. Yep. It's checking the logs. Interesting. I see input, whatever the hell, debug output. Yeah, Python error. Debug. Well, I'll come back to you. I'm not going to send any more prompts. If I do, I'm going to unpause, but I'll come back to you. Okay, so I literally didn't send any more prompts. And then it was just iterating and iterating and iterating. And yeah, it's actually getting a lot of progress here. Yeah. Wait, that's not how you pass envars, but it got progress here because it actually got the prompt to be directed to OpenCode and stuff. And it actually did respond to it, interestingly. But it's gonna hard code the bot token, which is fine with me for this example. But you could tell it to use like a .env file with a given variable, but yeah, done. The workflow is ready. Send a message to your Telegram bot now. It should receive a message, run OpenCode headlessly, code, send the response back to you. Try it out. Okay, let's see. So I'm gonna say, hey, it's gonna run the Telegram OpenCode workflow. Run it. Just rejecting the markdown, I guess. I see. Well, it's gonna keep iterating, right? But I'm telling you, Opus would have done this already, like yesterday, man. Just following the logs with this chat ID. Yeah. Hello. How can I help you today? So it actually struggled with coding up the chat ID fetching sort of thing. I beat. Send a message to your bot so it can actually get your chat ID from the webhook payload. There we go, it works. Okay. So that is how you build OpenClaw using Deployery. And this was really scuffed, so I don't even know if I should upload this, but yeah. But let's try to, you know, tell it to like, can you make yourself react with a lobster or like a fucking, I don't know, like a heart on my messages when you see them? So it's spinning. Let's see. I mean the Telegram bot I'm speaking to you through. So this is really just all of this BS that I've been dealing with for the past, what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, is really just because of, you know, the model just not being smart enough. Let's be honest. I don't have information about a Telegram bot integration. Oh my god, just look at all files. Gosh. This is getting quite annoying. I don't want to edit this video at all, so I might just re-record it, but I might not. You know, this might be the raw experience that you might be wanting to see for Deployery. Yeah, this is just really sad. I'm not gonna lie. Like, so it actually it doesn't understand, you know, how to do this stuff. You know, I mean, look at workflows and add reactions in terms of thumbs up to my Telegram messages when they are received. So I have feedback before I get message response back from the Let me actually just initialize the get repo here to see if it's actually going to do anything useful. Man, it sucks being poor that you can't even afford a $200 a month subscription for Claude. It sucks being poor. Yeah, as you can see, it did like 2 more steps here, and it's gonna... Oh my god, bro. Think? It did like think. Is it using a different model? No, it's all big pickle. So, okay. I see. Did you push it? Oh my god, that's not what I mean. No, I mean Deployery push. Right, it didn't even load up the skill. Man, this is just so sad. I have to be using Big Pickle as my fucking coding agent, bro. Like, Big Pickle out of all the stuff that I could use. What do you mean there's no workflows directory yet, bro? You literally just said it word. Like, you literally just edited it. Oh, hell no, bro. I'm actually scrapping this video and waiting for my clause limit to reset, bro. Like, what?